When the night was loud, there was a man named Daniel who believed in God, but quietly. Not the kind of belief that shines in bright days, the kind that only whispers when life is calm. Daniel worked hard, loved his family, and did what he thought was right. But one year, everything began to fall apart. First, he lost his job. Then his savings disappeared trying to stay afloat. Bills piled up like storm clouds, and the silence from heaven felt heavier than the problems themselves. Every night he would sit by the window, staring into the darkness, asking the same question: God, are you still there? One evening, when worry felt unbearable, Daniel went for a walk. The city lights flickered, and the sky was unusually clear. He looked up, really looked, and saw a vast, endless sky filled with stars. For a moment, everything inside him slowed down. He remembered something his grandmother used to say: "If God can hold the stars in place, he can hold your life too." Daniel didn't receive a miracle that night. He didn't hear a voice, but he felt something quieter, a shift inside his heart. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" he asked, "What are you teaching me?" Days turned into weeks. Nothing changed immediately, and that was the hardest part. Trusting God when nothing moves is a different kind of faith. One morning, Daniel received a small opportunity. Temporary work, nothing impressive. He almost ignored it. But something inside him said, "Take the step." He did. That small step led to another, and another. Not because everything became easy, but because he stopped walking alone in his mind. He began to pray differently, not for rescue, but for guidance, not for control, but for trust. There were still nights of doubt, still moments of fear. But now, when anxiety knocked on his door, he answered with a simple truth: God sees what I cannot. Months later, Daniel realized something surprising. The greatest miracle wasn't a sudden solution. It was the transformation inside him. He had learned that trust in God is not believing that life will be painless. It is believing that you are never abandoned in the pain. He learned that faith is not certainty about the future. It is confidence in who walks with you into it. And one evening, standing once again under the open sky, Daniel whispered something he had never said before: "I trust you, even when I don't understand." The sky looked the same as it had months earlier, but Daniel was not the same man. Because trust in God does not always change your situation first. Sometimes it changes you, and that changes everything. So if you are in a season where answers are silent, if the night feels long, if hope feels small, remember this: the same God who holds the stars is holding your story. And even when you cannot see his hand, you can trust